and that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on it.
It's summertime, folks. Thank heaven, or whomever you thank. The snow's gone. Only time will tell for how long. We can all be grateful. Optimism is on the rise. We get to wear shorts and t-shirts again. Break out the sunglasses and drop the top on your convertibles. That weather we've all been waiting for is here. This show is dedicated to the summer. I'm going to will it to be here and stay with us for as long as possible. I'm thinking of a very long and beautiful summer. So get ready, listeners. We're talking all about summertime fitness and health, and that's all coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Drew Tadia, fitness expert on 96.5 CKFM.
Oh my, we do love to complain. It's true, isn't it? Can anyone refute this? If there's a good argument out there, I'd love to hear it. Everywhere you go, someone is complaining about something. It's like a toxic spill that'll never go away. It just grows and grows. You can't get away from it. I feel suffocated at times. And don't think I'm turning my nose up at the majority. I complain too. Sometimes it makes me sick when I complain. I know I'm complaining, but I can't stop. Stand next to someone complaining for a second and see what happens. Feel their energy as they grow and pollute your thoughts. Suddenly you start thinking about what you have to complain about. Before long, there's an avalanche of uncontrollable negative thoughts. I think it was Freud that talked about the id, ego, and superego before anyone else. I'm not sure it's in the same context, but then you have Eckhart Tolle, who's probably the king of referring to the ego. He's got some great books out, The Power of Now. Of course, then there's A New Earth, Awakening Your Life's Purpose. These are fantastic books. I haven't learned as much in this caliber from any other author. He sold millions in 1 billion different countries, 1 billion different languages, blah, blah, blah. He's a great author, no doubt. But let's be real. There's a whole lot of dry spots trying to get to the point of what he has to say. Regardless of if you're a fan of his books or his teachings, I don't think anyone could argue with that little voice in our heads, which he calls the ego. It's the good and the bad. Whatever tells us we should or shouldn't be doing. It tells us we'll pay for that cheeseburger, even if it's only 99 cents. It tells us we're doing something wrong, morally or any other way. Most times we choose to ignore it though, don't we? Cheeseburger, we justify that by, I'll spend an extra 5 minutes on the elliptical. Try convincing your heart it'll all even out. But what about complaining? Or what about saying something we shouldn't? Or doing something we know we'll pay for? I'm not talking about willpower. I'm talking about that little voice we can all relate to. Unless I'm completely out to lunch here, might be losing a few listeners on this one. Why does it always win? Why do we need to get it out? She looks fat. He'll never make it. What I'm getting to is toxic complaining that attracts like, that connects like a puzzle to more negative thoughts, to more people with their own problems, to more issues from whether to who and why someone really upset you today. Sure, we need to let it out, but do we really need endless complaining? And do we need to inform everyone that passes by? This last week, it went from one hot day to a pretty chilly evening. And I heard everything you could possibly think of. It's too hot, too cold, it's smelly, it's blinding. It's like we think of absolutely everything possible just to get something out, or just to add to the madness. I'm not pointing anyone out here. We all do it. We all think it, even if we're not a vocal person. We think negative thoughts when others are talking about it. We too get sucked in to believing whatever ridiculous notion our ego makes us believe. I'm getting to a point here, so stay with me. If like attracts like, and even if you don't believe that, then maybe you could believe one negative thought draws another negative thought. Through the laws of physics, that must mean a positive thought must attract or draw a positive thought. So why not complain about how wonderful things are? Why not complain how great your day is? Yes, I know. No one likes that person who's always happy, and about nothing to boot. What if we went around telling people how good we feel? I suppose then people would think we're bragging about ourselves, which again brings the ego up. But if that's the case, so what? Think about that kind of world. Too many people, too happy about nothing? We're going to brighten someone else's day. That's a fact. What if that was a sickness, happiness, instead of dis-ease? Why don't we try not to complain for a couple hours? For a day? A week? Is that possible? How about negative thoughts? Can we block them out? Probably not entirely, especially with all the negativity going on around us, but we can sure try. And the more we try, the more it'll happen. I got an idea which I just thought of, believe it or not. What if we wore an elastic band, and every time I thought about complaining, or we felt a negative thought coming on, we snapped it? Why don't we try the Ivan Pavlov test on ourselves? We know that one, don't we? Conditioned response. Pavlov rang a bell, then fed a dog, and repeated this process over and over again. He realized right before the dog ate, he would start to salivate. So after a while, he found out the conditioned response had nothing to do with the food. It was the bell. He rang the bell, the dog salivated. And that's when the infamous conditioned response gave birth. So again, how about we snap ourselves with an elastic band for a couple weeks and see if we can find a difference, or see if we can find a solution to the toxicity of negative thoughts and complaining. When it comes to complaining, it's really about perspective. That's it. It's how we see things. All you have to do is read the book, Man's Search for Meaning, and you can listen to as many stories as you like about how Viktor Frankl survived a concentration camp, how he lived every day to the fullest, if that's possible in the concentration camp, and how he found the positives in just about everything. Could you imagine? No, we couldn't, but we could pretend to. This was hell on earth. The most extreme, dire conditions imaginable, and this fellow finds things to be happy about? I'd imagine the average person wouldn't like Frankl very much, or the average cellmate. Could you imagine? Shut up, Frankl. Would you find something to complain about already? And then in our society, we complain about the weather. When it comes down to complaining, it's what we focus on. Let's take an extreme case. You have Viktor Frankl, who focuses on absolutely everything possible if there's no possibility. And if there's no possibility, make something up. Then we have our day and age. And let's take me, for example. I'm upset about having to fill the car with gas before my next appointment. If we allow ourselves to focus on the negative, if we allow ourselves to focus on what we don't have instead of what we should have, instead of what we do have, and instead of what's good and what we can be grateful for, then we don't give ourselves much of a chance to be happy now, do we? I'm not going to tell someone to fake it till they make it, even though I think that does hold some value. I'm not going to tell someone to think perfect thoughts until whatever they want magically appears on their lap. But if you think negative all the time, if you think I can't, that'll never happen, then it won't, period. We have to give ourselves a chance. We have to change our thinking, avoid complaining, and those who are toxic to us and our well-being. What we need to do is focus on what we want, and that's a positive life, which starts with a positive attitude. Focus on the good things in life. Focus on what we have, and that's the real step into a better you. In this segment, we're going to talk about nutritional yeast because of the benefits it has to offer. Nutritional yeast is a health food that can be found in exactly those places. Any good health food store should carry this item because it's sought after by so many health enthusiasts. Nutritional yeast has high prop of vitamin B12, which is mainly found in meat products, which is why this is ideal for vegans and vegetarians. Each batch of nutritional yeast is grown on a mixture of cane and beet molasses for a period of 7 days. B vitamins are added during the process to provide the yeast and the nutrients it needs to grow. This information was sourced from the text, Staying Healthy with Nutrition, the complete guide to diet and nutritional medicine by Elson M. Haas, MD. This is a great book if you're looking for some natural remedies and healing properties for food rather than prescription medication. I got a great recipe from Brandon Brazier, who wrote The Thrive Diet, which is a book I really enjoy and highly recommend. I'm not a vegan, and although this book is vegan, it's not directed for only vegans. With everything I do, I feel it's best to take a little bit from everywhere and come up with your own conclusions. Before my long-winded explanation gets any longer, let's get to the recipe. This is perfect to add nutrients to a salad and even improve the flavor. Try ground sesame seeds, ground flax seeds, all mixed with nutritional yeast. This can be carried around and added to just about anything for increased value to whatever you're eating. This is one of the reasons a good high-powered blender is recommended. You'll want to buy whole flax seeds and grind them yourself. As an alternative, try a coffee grinder. And you want to do the same with the sesame seeds. Throw them in a grinder and whip them up. Toss everything together and you're good to go. Nutritional yeast has a cheesy flavor, so it can be substituted for anything you normally add cheese to. I wouldn't recommend the substitute for cheese and crackers, but a couple good options would be to top your pasta and even add to popcorn. In fact, I've got a great recipe I'll share with you right now that'll turn your fatty popcorn habit into a health food. You're going to air pop your own popcorn. Then instead of butter, you're going to add coconut oil. Sprinkle on nutritional yeast for a fantastic cheesy flavor and top off with some Himalayan sea salt. Wow, is this good. Not only have you turned your junk food habit into a healthy food, but it tastes great. The first time I tried this, I wasn't a huge fan. Of course, I was like everyone else and used too much butter and too much sea salt. I made myself try it again just to make sure I didn't like it and found myself enjoying it. So the third time was perfection. Not only did I realize this is now a health food I can substitute, but it's a great tasting snack that's actually good for you. And now it seems as though I crave it. Very impressive when you can crave a health food. And that's what happens when you start to eat better. We slowly stop craving junk food and fast food as our bodies react better to good quality whole foods. Once our bodies feel better, our minds feel better, and our quality of life is increased, which is a fabulous chain of events. And that's the real addiction we're all after.
Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Drew Tadia would not be possible without the help from the following sponsors: Merle Norman, Health Street, Shoppers Drug Mart, and the CLC Fitness Center, uniting together for a healthier tomorrow. To find out more about Drew Tadia and True Form Life or to become a sponsor, visit trueformlife.com.
In this segment, we're talking about a healthy summertime picnic. It's great to get away, isn't it? Take a day or a weekend, take your spouse and kids, or go by yourself. We plan weeks ahead of time to spend time away for some reason. We book off work, we pack the bags, and what's usually last on the list? Food. That's what. What happens when we don't prepare? We grab some unhealthy snack, whether it's fast food on the way, a chocolate bar, or a bag of chips, to hold you over. I don't even know what that means, to hold you over. To hold you over for what? Till your next unhealthy meal? If we fail to plan, we plan to fail. One of the most important things about going away is planning what you'll eat and how it's prepared. Because we're talking about a picnic or just a day away from the ordinary, we're not planning on stopping at a restaurant. We're not going to bring anything to cook or a food that requires cooking because we don't have any heat. We're going to pack a nice lunch or snack food that's easily eaten and portable so it's convenient for the whole family. Let's start off with trail mix. This is the perfect snack food with healthy nutrients that can be thrown together by anyone without much thought or effort. All you need is ingredients, and remember to stay away from salted nuts. You're going to look for almonds. This will be a staple in your trail mix recipe. Almonds have so many nutrients. After you add them, the rest of your ingredients are secondary. Dried fruit is perfect for this snack-making meal. Look for dried blueberries and or dried cranberries depending on your preference and taste buds. Both of these are packed with flavor and antioxidants, so enjoy these anti-aging, delicious foods. I could go down an endless list of foods you can add to make this a super nutrient-dense meal. The basics would be sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. But if you really want to ramp up this choice, try the superfood goji berry and the superfood cacao nibs. These nibs will add a little chocolate flavor and bump up your antioxidants to a level not achievable by any other food. So make sure you grab some homemade trail mix. There's no reason you or your child couldn't learn how to make this in minutes. Of course, we have fruit, which is widely underestimated and underused. There's nothing to say we can't raid the fruit dish instead of the pantry. To fill your bag full of fresh fruit, and if that fruit dish is empty, like so many of us are, stop at the grocery store on the way out. Grab some apples, oranges, bananas, or anything else you'd like to enjoy that's easy to carry and eat. How about veggies? Why do we forget about veggies when we're packing a meal? These are foods our bodies enjoy, and once you adjust your taste buds away from refined sugar and highly processed packaged foods, not only will your body enjoy these, but your taste buds will too. Throw in some carrots and celery, mushrooms and broccoli. What about cauliflower? We need these foods in our diet. If not for yourselves, do it for your kids. Give them a gift they'll never forget, and teach them how to snack without heading to the chips and pop section. Show them how to shop, not order from the drive-thru window. I promise you they'll thank you one day. How great would that be, really? If we all taught our children how to eat and snack from an early age, we can all make a difference, not only in our own lives, but in our children, or leading by example, influencing so many others. Why not have the kids help out? We all must know what ants on a log are by now. Grab some celery sticks, throw in some peanut butter or yogurt, and add a few creepy crawlers with raisins to make this fun. Trust me, the kids love helping out with this kind of thing. And teaching them these little tricks saves time around the house when parents are running short of it. I'm not a huge granola bar rep, but many times these are better choices than whatever alternative we're thinking about. Find a good quality granola bar, not the cheapest one on the rack or the 99-cent sale. If your pocketbook doesn't pay for it right away, your body sure will later. Let's get into some wraps. Quick and easy wraps not only you can make in minutes, but the kids can help out as well. Find a whole wheat wrap and dress it with whatever you like. Don't go overboard on condiments, but we have to be realistic here. If it doesn't taste good, we're not going to eat it, and certainly won't be making them in the future. If you need mayo, use mayo. If you need mustard, use mustard. That's right. That's what I'm telling you. We're after baby steps here and better choices. Instead of no food or fast food, these choices are just fine. So don't worry about it. Put guilt behind you and enjoy this wrap to go. Make sure you fill it with greens and veggies. You'll look to slice up red, green, and orange peppers the long way so they fit nicely in the rolled wrap. You can add tomatoes if you like, although they make these wraps messy. Avocado is a great addition.